Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a couple topical videos on why we do different kinds of short row shaping in garments, because I just feel like there's a lot of mystery around why we do it, at least as knitters instead of designers. Even as a designer, actually, when I first started designing, even just this time last year, I had no idea why we did it, and I knew that most designers did, and I didn't know why. And it was in all of the garment patterns that I was knitting, and I did it because it was in the pattern, but I didn't understand why. And there were certain patterns that I was trying to design that they didn't work, and now I know why, because I didn't understand these concepts. So this is a two-part kind of mini-series for knitters, for designers, for anybody that's interested. So the first one that I want to talk about is why we do shoulder shaping in patterns. So why we do this is to match the natural arch and the natural shape of our shoulders. So our shoulders slope, and with short rows we want to be able to mimic that slope so that the garment that we're making flows over your shoulder well, and it drapes well, and it just sits on your shoulder nicely. So how to create that kind of shape is either through the stair-step method, which I don't personally like. It kind of gives a messy seam. The way that I like to do it is with short rows. So it's very easy. It's not as scary as it may seem. I have just put out a video tutorial on how to do German short rows, which are my personal favorite. They're nearly invisible and just so easy to work. So please give that a try. If you're scared of it, don't be. It's really, really simple. I'll teach you how to do it. You have to kind of mimic that shape, and I will draw it out for you and kind of explain why we do it and how we do it using short rows. If you don't really understand what I mean, just take your hand and slide it off your shoulder. You know, it's a slope, and you want to be able to mimic that in your knitting. It's kind of like a rounded triangle edge, and that is closely how we mimic it with short rows. So let's go over and I will show you an illustrated example. So let's say that here are our beginning of rows. So if we're working a full row, it is going to look like this. The beginning on a right side row, this is where you begin, and this is where you end on a right side row. To help make that clearer, and again, we're moving in this direction. So what you do is you're going to start on one end with your right side row, and this is to work a right shoulder. We begin here, and we move towards the end of our row, but we stop a little bit short. So this is probably about, I don't know, depends on your pattern, but 5 to 10 stitches from the end of the row. Could be more, could be less. I would just trust your pattern there. But you stop short of the end of the round, and you turn around using short rows, and you go back in the other direction, and you go all the way to the end. So this is the end all the way through, because this is by your neck. This is by your neck, that line there. And you're shaping kind of this way. You want it to kind of look like a triangle, but softer so it curves. So you're only shaping on this end here. So you've come back to the beginning of the round, and you go back towards the end, but you stop short. So you stop even less than you did before, turn around, and come back to the beginning. And then we do that again. So we go back towards the end of our row, but we stop short, and then we turn around and we go back towards the beginning. And you just keep doing that until your pattern tells you, and you've created that shape. So you can see that you get that curved line. And that is how we do short row shaping on your shoulder. And on the right shoulder, this would be a right side row. So you're moving towards the end, you turn around short of the end and come back, and you just create this stair-step effect, but with short rows. So you get that curved look, and that will help your shoulder drape better. Now the left shoulder will be the same concept, but going in the other direction. This is what a full row looks like, and this is for the left shoulder. So this is going to be the shoulder side over here. And then this is going to be the neck side. So this is going to curve like this. So I'll just go ahead and draw that line up. So you're starting on this side. And actually, I believe, if I have this correctly, that this is going to be a wrong side row. So when you're working a wrong side row, you're going in the direction of the shoulder. So you're going this way. Starting at the beginning of round, you go almost to the edge, but not quite. You stop short, and you turn around and come back. And once you're back at the beginning of round, you do that again. So you go out towards the edge, but you stop a few stitches short of where you stopped the last time. You turn around, and you come back to the beginning of the round. And then you just keep doing that. So you get that same effect. So you get that curved shoulder. And then on your last row, you would just work straight across and work all of those either wraps or double stitches, depending on the type of short row method that you did. So hopefully that makes it a little bit clearer for you on how to do it and why we do it. This will give you a nice curve and it will flow on your shoulder a lot better. So the amount of rows that you work in this short row shaping depends on your gauge and it depends on the pattern that you're following. It was probably going to be between like an inch or 2 of length that you work this over. So your pattern should tell you how to do this. But if you have a finer gauge that requires more rows per inch, it's going to take longer than something that is a bulkier weight that takes only a couple of rows to get an inch. So hopefully your pattern lays it out for you and you can get that done. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this made this a lot clearer for you. I have another video on why and how we do back neck shaping if you're interested in learning more.